Another pathetic attempt at monetization before I'm ultimately forced to work a finance job in a cubicle and hate that life. Oh, I didn't see you guys there. Today, we're gonna do something cool. We're gonna have a little behind the scenes, a little insight into how I make these reels where I recreate sections of songs and little covers with GarageBand, believe it or not. So stay tuned. We're on a budget here today, but it's going to come out good, I think. Today, I'm going to recreate the Queens of the Stone Age, I Sat by the Ocean, banger of a song. Basically, we're here today because all the time people ask me, why weren't you aborted? Yeah, people on the internet are super nice, but occasionally, they ask about my process, what equipment I'm using, how I'm getting these recordings, how am I layering them, how do I edit it all together? Let me spill the beans a little first. Instruments, audio interface, GarageBand. Oh, that's the signal chain. Real expensive, high quality stuff going on around here. So if that sounds cool to you, then stick with me and let's get right to it. What the fuck am I even doing? I'm not going in the cubicle. Alright, now the first super high-tech professional studio thing that I do is listen to the song. Okay, so basically what I heard is 3 guitar tracks, I think, a bass track, and a freaking me out playing the album from the top like that. Never heard that one. Keep your eyes peeled. I've heard of it. Okay, look, stay focused. See, this is why I'm not going to survive in the finance job, guys. You gotta say, guys, please, no, you gotta save me. Like, please subscribe. Like, I can't go to the cubicle. ADHD. I heard 3 guitar tracks, a bass line. I heard 3 guitar tracks, a bass line. Focus. I think I heard 3 guitar tracks, a bass line, and a drum track. All right, that's what I think I heard. So 5 tracks in total. Whoa, I can count. I can do math. I'm gonna confirm this using a couple tablature apps. You know what I'm saying? A little Ultimate Tab Pro, a little Songster action. If you guys don't have Songster, I'd probably say that's probably my favorite guitar tab app. I have a top 2. That's one of them. Alright, so the first thing that I do is turn on my audio interface. Like that. It was already plugged in to my computer through a docking station. If you guys have never connected an audio interface before, this isn't the video for that. Now after the interface is on and connected, I'm gonna go over to GarageBand. And I'm just gonna open a blank track. And now I'm just gonna turn on the electronic drum kit and plug it into the interface. Turns out Songster isn't on Mac, it's only on iPhone as far as I can tell. So I'm gonna have to use this phone here to look at the tabs for the drums real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, it looks pretty easy. Let's just send it. Alright, so I just laid the drum track 1, in the GarageBand. Let's hear how it sounds. I'm going to pipe it through the speaker so we can all hear it at the same time. Usually I would have mixing headphones on for this, but I'm going to forgo that right now so y'all can hear. I already know this is going to need some compression, but let's hear it as is. Pretty good, right? Let's hear the compression. Best we're going to get with an E-kit. Let's move along to the bass line before the neighbors complain about the foot pedal again. Alright, the bass line looked pretty easy too. I think I got it down. Let's give it a whirl. Alright, I think I got the bass line down pretty good. Good enough for a bass line. Come on. Come on, it's a... Did I even tune the bass? I did, and it was perfect somehow. I hadn't played it in like a month. Never even changed the strings on the thing either. Do you know how old that bass is? That thing was like $100. Anyways, it's a bass line. It sounds good enough. By the way, the whole tone of this bass, I don't have pickup options. I don't know if I have a tone knob. Probably it's on 10. It's called Modern Stack under Clean Bass and GarageBand. All I did was compress it. Standard tuning. It's what you think. Pretty basic. I would have added wah. Would he really have added wah? I don't know. Strange brew, killing what's inside. Alright, day 2. We're back. So before we officially move on from the bass line, real quick, I'm going to use AI to isolate the bass line. And I'm just going to try to perfect the tone, get it to match perfectly. Not a huge deal. It's bass. Nobody cares. I know. But the software is on my phone. I'll be right back. Alright, look. I isolated the bass line from the original. And what I heard was a lot of low. Like a lot of low-end EQ on the bass. So I boosted the lows all the way on this amp sim for the bass. Don't know if you're going to be able to hear that on an iPhone at the end. So might have to mess with the bass tone one more time, but here's what it sounds like now. They still have even more low end than that, but I'm telling you, you're just not going to hear it on an iPhone when you're watching the reel. Okay, so now moving right along, I'm going to go ahead and add another track under that for the first guitar that I'm going to lay in. I actually just realized before I even look at the tabs for the guitar parts, I actually want to know what guitars they are using for each part, i.e., am I going to be primarily using a humbucker? Am I going to be using single coils? A combination? Let's find out. This Letterman performance is so dark. I can't see anything. Okay, this one on the BBC too, I can actually see what's going on a little. Alright, so after consulting a bunch of YouTube videos and AI and articles, I've learned a few things. One is that Josh Homme is apparently kind of secretive about his gear and his writing and all that sort of thing. Another is that he has a semi-hollow body that he plays the slide lead on. I don't have a semi-hollow body, but I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to get the tone of my Gibson Les Paul warm enough. You also hear a Jazzmaster, apparently, a lot in this band, and I don't have a Jazzmaster, but I do have a Strat, a vintage Strat, so hopefully I'll be able to get some similar tones out of that. I'm going to play around with some stuff, and we're going to figure out what's what. First, I'll just learn the rhythm part at the intro, and I'll place that in. I'm going to do this first rhythm line with power chords, and obviously it's going to take up more of the low EQ. I just want to have them there in case I want them. I don't know how high they'll be in the final mix. I don't know if they'll be in the final mix, but I want them there. Alright, I've got 2 guitar tracks in place of just rhythm, of just the power chords. Here's how it sounds so far. Alright, now I'm going to track what'll be my primary rhythm guitar part. Alright, I got the main rhythm guitar part laid in. Alright, I've lost count of how many sessions I've put into this now. I think I just completed my 3rd, maybe 4th. Don't really know. Basically, what I just did was I laid in the rhythm guitar part again, but a few things changed. One is I put new strings on my Strat. Another is I played with the amp sim. I changed the tone. I'm going to show you what I did in just a minute. And every track I've recorded so far is still in the mix. It's just much lower in the mix. And I have things panned kind of left and right. I'm going to show you my screen in a moment. So all the other guitar tracks in the rhythm section are much lower in the mix. Now I'm going to show you the one that I just did that's much higher in the mix. Now I'm gonna show you my amp sim settings. Bright and clean, and I didn't change too much, although if we look at the pedal board, I did add a tube burner, and I fiddled with some of the knobs a bit. And remember, I used the bridge of a Strat to get this tone. And I'm using 10 gauge strings, if anybody was like curious. Hey, come here. This video is probably gonna get demonetized no matter what I do. Please like and subscribe. What's going on, guys? Day I lost count. Probably been working on this for a good week worth of days at this point. I've just genuinely lost count. This is harder than I thought it would be. Turns out Queens of the Stone Age is a really, really tight band with very impressive studio production. In a bedroom, you would think I would be a bit over my head. But thankfully, I can just keep adding track after track after track until it sounds about right. But thankfully now, after dedicating 5 separate tracks just to the rhythm guitar section, I think I'm getting the tone pretty dialed in. Alright, so basically here's the rundown on what I did today. So for the primary rhythm guitar part that I recorded the other day with my Strat, all I did was lowered the gain and increased the tone. I'm going to show you my settings in a moment. And I added another track. Recall how I added with the Les Paul power chords to really emphasize the low end on some complementing tracks so that I could use those to also alter the tone of the low end. Well, basically the upper end needed the same thing. Hold on. Les Paul, and I'm going to show you the amp sim I used in the settings, but basically when you're doing the rhythm section, you know, you got the low notes and then the high notes, right? Well, these high notes, I wasn't getting the tone that I wanted, so basically I doubled it in the mix using the Les Paul. And basically, if you're wondering what the tone was, I was on the bridge. I think my tone knobs were just about all the way up. I was using the humbuckers. I didn't isolate any coils. I didn't take anything out of phase, even though I got all the, ooh, I'm fancy, look at me. It looks like I have money, but I don't, huh? And yeah, that's basically the tone. So for the amp sim, it's called Amp Switcher. It's on setting, it's on amp model 3.5, I think. This helped me to really get that upper end right in terms of the guitar tone, just doubling that bit there. So I'm going to show you now what that sounds like. So now the rhythm guitar part, the primary part, sounds like this. And that doubling that I just did with the Les Paul sounds like this. Alright, day, 572, I don't know, hold on. I need my... I think this is it. I think this is really the last day I'm going to be working on this. We're really coming down the home stretch here. I think I've got the tone pretty darn dialed in. There's only about 15 tracks running right now in GarageBand, but yeah, look, did I put way too much effort into the rhythm section tone? Probably. Should I have taken some of that effort and put it more into aligning the slides? Probably. Did I use so many rhythm guitar tracks that I had to double the drums and the bass just to compensate in the mix for the volume? Yes. Could I have achieved all this with literally 5 tracks, just 1 drum, 1 bass, 1 rhythm guitar, and 2 slides? Yeah, I probably could have gotten pretty darn close to this. I would have gotten more hate comments for not getting the tone perfect, but you could have gotten pretty darn close with just the 5 tracks, and I'm going to prove it to you guys right now. 1 slide guitar isolated here, 1 slide guitar isolated here. Keep the automatic level controls on for these, by the way, guys. 1 rhythm guitar selected here, 1 bass selected here, 1 drum selected here. This is a 5-piece. It would sound like this. Versus this with all of them running. It's a bigger sound. It sounds more like a good professional production studio quality, and that's what I'm going here for. But seriously, guys, if you just did this with your 5-piece, nobody's gonna complain if you did this live with these tones. You would knock it out of the park, probably. Here's the issue, though. Trying to walk you guys through every little thing I did to really dial this tone in the last week, sporadically here and there. There's no way I'd be able to put it all in this video, guys. Here's what I'm gonna do. I've uploaded this file for your download on my Patreon. It's $5 a month, literal pennies a day. You can save a struggling artist from having to work in a cubicle. Come on now. It's literally pennies a day, guys, and I'm going to be putting all kinds of files up there on my Patreon, and they're all going to have plenty of preset guitar tones that are already dialed in for you guys. I know a lot of people were wondering how I got the guitar tone so perfect on Paranoid, how I got it so perfect on Simple Man, things like that. People are always asking how I got the tones. It's all here in the computer. I'm just going to start uploading files, and you guys can download them. And just plug and play and have the perfect guitar tone. Congrats. So be sure to check this out on the Patreon. Link in bio. If you guys like and subscribe, I'd be forever grateful. I would come and tickle your nether regions if I could. I wouldn't really. Could I have spent even more time perfecting the slide? In my opinion, yes. However, am I going to? No, because the VA has informed me that they're having an arts competition for all the veterans, and I'm qualified to submit one of the songs that I've written for my band. Only issue is, though, it's due in a week, and I haven't written a song that's appropriate to submit for that. Because they can't be rated R, apparently. I'm going to write a PG-13 song over the next coming days, and we're going to get straight cracking with that. Be sure to check it out. It's going to go up on the band page. That's also linked here in the bio. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know your questions. Let me know what you think. Looking forward to hearing from you all. Till next time, stay, I don't know, insert catchphrase here. I'll think of something. Okay, bye. Oh, and if you guys haven't seen how the reel actually came out yet, go check it out. I probably linked it somewhere right here.